Welcome to Monday Night Muses. It is I, Rorie Kelly. Let me adjust this camera a little bit so we get a little, I don't know, just like a little better of a thing. How are we feeling, everybody? Did you all get to see Libby and Cal? How ridiculously good are Libby and Cal? Like, oh my goodness. Okay, I see someone in the chat asking, is there a Venmo or PayPal way to tip Libby? I actually think that the Streamlab links, it does let you check you out through PayPal, so that might solve your problem. But if not, Libby, if you're in the chat, let us know. Like, let people give you money. We want to do it. Or might I suggest like going and buying their music on Bandcamp instead, which will let you check out with PayPal and get you some music in the mix. All right, sorry to open with housekeeping. We just had a super wonderful, awesome opener. Libby and Cal, back by popular demand. What a wonderful duo. My goodness. I have a new MIDI keyboard. I'm a very happy camper. Let me see if I can show you guys my new baby over here. Look at it. I was not attempting to show you my cleavage. I was attempting to show you the keyboard. But I now see what that shot looked like. What are you gonna do? Okay. Ahoy, Jason, listening all the way from Colorado. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks. We're doing a piano-centric set today because I finally have more than 2 octaves. Oh my goodness. I'm so excited. Melissa Longo in the house. She's our featured poet for Poetry Corner. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh. Ayla Faye in the house. Ayla Faye is going to be our feature next week. Are you excited? Yes. Weighted keys. Ah. Thank you, Libby. This new keyboard does not yet have a name. It has a brand or a, whatever model. The model is called Nectar, or maybe that's the brand. It's a Nectar keyboard. It doesn't have a name. I'm open to suggestions. Maybe we should name my keyboard tonight. To get started. Welcome to Monday Night Muses, everybody. Mimi, the MIDI keyboard. I do really like the alliteration, but I don't know if she looks like a Mimi to me. I have to think about that. Maybe I should use they, them pronouns for my MIDI keyboard. Who am I to pretend that I know what gender my MIDI keyboard is? Really? Well, I'm gonna think about it. I'm thinking about it. I'm accepting suggestions. Okay. It is Monday night. I'm going to play to you on this beautiful new MIDI keyboard. Oh my goodness. It's powered by my iPad, y'all. Did you know you can get an amazing library of sounds just by having an iPad and plugging a MIDI keyboard into it? Anywho, it's not like I'm French and therefore I have to gender and everything correct. Actually, I read an article. I don't remember anything about it, but I do remember reading an article about like some development of like some non-gendered. What's the word? Where you're like Mr. and Ms. and mix, like when like non-gendered ways to politely address somebody, being developed in French by some nice, nifty French social justice heroes. I don't know. I don't know what they are because I don't speak French, but I read that was a thing that was happening. Starfire, the keyboard. Yep. My keyboard's name is Starfire. They use they, them pronouns. Thank you, Melissa. I love you. Prefixes, thank you. Yeah, it wasn't, I don't think it was pronouns. It was honorifics. That was the word I was searching for. Mr., Ms., Miss, Mix, all of those honorifics. Mix is a gender-neutral honorific you can use in English. Did you know? Now you know. It's spelled MX. It's pronounced like mix, like you're mixing up the party by, eschewing gender roles. It's great. Okay. I'm going to start singing to you. I'm going to sing some songs you know. I might sing some songs you don't know. And then at 8:30, we're going to do Poetry Corner. And that's how things are going to be tonight. Yep. I'm just going to make sure for all y'all that... I'm going to see if my song list is active. Because I do want to allow y'all to request songs if you so desire. So let me just take a look here. Yep. But I'm doing all originals today, so let me work on that here. Do boo doo 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 boo doo 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 doo. There we go. Okay. There is a song list. You can go request songs from it, and I will play them, and that's how it will be. So please feel free. Okay. It is right here. I don't know why I did a all caps thing, but I did. Oh, thank you. French also has a new gender-neutral pronoun, el, which I might be saying wrong because I'm crappy at speaking French. I do remember when I was traveling back and forth to Montreal, which is incidentally where I met Libby Hortop, to visit my now husband, then boyfriend. I remember practicing really hard, like a few key phrases in French so that I could do important things like get subway tickets and order a chocolate croissant and get a glass of red wine. That was really the three main concerns I had when I was visiting Montreal. And that's literally all I can do. I'm like an idiot savant. Now all I see is your cleavage. I'm sorry, I can't help it. It's big boob problems. It's like you wear shirts that are like appropriate shirts for anyone else, and then for me it's just like, have you met my boobs? I can't help it. And I'm not going to feel ashamed because let's be real, I have nice boobs and I'm proud of them. And I think we should be allowed to celebrate our boobs. Anyway. All right, we have some requests. What are our requests? What's position 1? I see position 2 and 3. Let's see what's in the queue. Looking at that queue. Looking at that song queue. Alternative facts. You got it. And I'm going to play it on the piano. Why are you telling me lies? Why would you lie, lie, lie? I won't get any sleep tonight. All my dreams will be filled with lies. I won't take the disrespect anymore. I'm intelligent. I can look up facts. I can't believe they put a man like you in charge of anything. It's terrifying. I won't take the disrespect anymore. If you judge me, I'll just judge you back. Life is short and baby, you are short-sighted. I got better things to do than to argue with you. Why are you telling me lies? Why would you lie, lie, lie? I won't get any sleep tonight, just too woke by your lies. I can't take the disrespect anymore. I'm a human, not a defective mad about. We're gonna find out, you will find out. First they came for everyone. Didn't look like them, pray like them, love like them. And I will take your ugly lies, and I will raise you one informed population. Passion, information. Tell me who run the nation. Look what you have awakened with your lies, lies, lies. For every single lie, one more person will get organized. I won't get any sleep tonight just to woke to buy your lies. Thank you, friends. Oh my gosh, Judith, you got locked out of the chat. Why? What happened? Okay, I'm singing to you today primarily with my new MIDI keyboard, Starfire. I'm very excited about singing to you with Starfire. Okay, I see that I have a few requests. I have Liminal Spaces up next. Then I have Magic coming. Please feel free to make requests. There is a song list. You can do ! SL. If there's a song that you know of mine that's not on there, feel free to wildcard me. If I don't know it, I'll do something interesting. I should know my own songs, but they're honestly, anyone who's a songwriter can tell you, like, there are songs that just like you kind of forget about. And sometimes those songs end up kind of fading into obscurity. And I'm sorry, but I'm willing to relearn. I'm actually on a campaign to relearn every song I've ever released so that I can do versions of them for my patrons in January for Patron Palooza. Everything sounds so dramatic with a grand piano. So, if you're not a patron yet, now is actually a really good time because I'm going to be posting something new every single day in January for my patrons. I love my patrons. Y'all are wonderful and glorious, and I just want to say thank you because you made my 2021 wonderful, so I'm starting off 2022 big for you. That's the thing. All right. What are their names? Are you asking? Could you possibly be asking me what the names of my boobs are? They don't have names. They are ephemeral and unknowable. Maybe you're asking me what something else's name is, and I'm just like, my mind is going there because you said the thing about my cleavage. This isn't usually an inappropriate live stream. But what are you gonna do? My body's not inappropriate. I can't help it, I just have big boobs. It could be worse, honestly. My body's not inappropriate. I can't help it, I just have big boobs. All the conservatives who might be offended are probably jealous. I can't blame them, my boobs are great. That's just how I was made. Oh well, oh well. Yes, I will be writing random songs in the middle of the live stream today. I think we have established that. All right, I'm reading these comments. Okay. Leland Sundries, I had some French growing up. On a Paris trip, I once accidentally ordered baby lobsters at a restaurant. Baby lobsters are illegal in the US. They also weren't very good. I felt so bad about it. That's really sad. Not just that you had to then eat baby lobsters, which sounds like a moral conflict for you, but also that they weren't even any good. Like, I'm a vegetarian, and one time I accidentally got some bacon on a sandwich, and you know how like everyone's like, oh my God, how do you live without bacon? Like, that's a thing vegetarians and vegans hear a lot. I once got some bacon on a sandwich by mistake, and I didn't know it, and because it was like a grilled cheese, there was bacon on it, and I bit into it, and I'm like, there is a meat on this sandwich, and I opened it up and I saw that it was bacon, and I gotta tell you, like, it wasn't even particularly tasty. I don't know, I guess there must be a hierarchy of good to bad bacon. This was like mediocre bacon at best, and I'm like, look, if I'm gonna accidentally eat bacon, I think I deserve to at least have tasty accidental bacon, but here we are. Anyway, Song request. New Moon on Cancer, since you're on the piano. Absolutely. It shall happen. Okay. So we have several song requests on deck. I'm going to actually start playing them. By the way, I didn't ask you today, how are you feeling? You know I want the real answer, not the polite answer. What are you sipping on? I'm actually triple fisting tonight. I have some green tea, I have some water, and I currently have some wine. And where are you tuned in from? Morningstar Veggie Bacon is pretty good. I agree. Okay. Liminal Spaces is next, I think. Yes, that one I'm going to play on guitar. That one actually does have... I actually spent some of the writing of that song I did on piano. But it was before I was a supremely competent keyboard player. Haha, now is still a time like that. I am not yet a supremely competent keyboard player. Anyway, I kind of wrote an arrangement beyond my ability, and so I brought it to guitar. Let me tune this beast for you. Okay, how are we feeling? Do this got water? Always good. Keep hydrated, kids. It's wise to do. Susanna's super overwhelmed, sipping on a Fairy Fizz botanical hard seltzer. Oh my goodness. That sounds amazing. I want to sip on that. Hello, Jason from Colorado. You have a finger of whiskey. I'm very happy for you, and I'm so glad that you're tuned in. Thank you so much. Also, thank you for following me. I see that happened a little while ago, and I forgot to give you a shout out, so I'm really sorry. Also, while Libby and Cal were playing, Totally Groovy Wizard Radio followed me, so it is time for a little bit of a shout out. Thank you, Jason from Colorado, for the follow. That kind of rhymes. Thanks for that, too. Thank you, Totally Groovy Wizard Radio. I'm so glad to be singing to you. I hope this music is good for you. Thank you for the follow, friends. Oh, I only tuned half of my guitar, and it was hard to play around it. Now I'm gonna tune the rest of my guitar. It had fallen a little bit. All right. Judith is watching me on the big TV. I'm so grateful. Okay, so now without further ado, liminal spaces. Tuning breaks are liminal spaces. I have a thing for liminal spaces. I get stuck inside them for ages. When you observe a particle, the particle changes, but no one's understanding when I change too, if you're lucky. I have a book of dreams on my nightstand. I always thought that I'd come back for it. I had to prove I could do it my way. I had to prove that I could make rent. If you just believed me the first time, it wouldn't have been so hard for me. This is the part I wrote on piano. Where are the moon sisters I was promised? Where is the music monk I never got to be? 'Cause I got stuck chasing love from somebody. 'Cause I got stuck trying to chase money. I have a thing for piano players. I try to learn from the things I'm drawn to. I try to learn why the moth inside me likes this particular flame, so I don't get burned again. I have a notebook, so many it's embarrassing. I have a lot to say for people, so quiet people think that she's a stuck-up bitch until they get to know me. And by the time they get to know me, I'm attached even if it's wrong. Where is the night of 'cause I was promised? I went all in, all I got was this lousy discernment. 'Cause I got stuck chasing love from somebody. 'Cause I got stuck trying to chase money. It's too late take it back. It's too late now. You can never get the years back. It's too late now, and the future looks exhausting. Where are the broken but good-hearted people? I feel myself changing in the summer night all night. 'Cause I got stuck chasing love from somebody. 'Cause I got stuck trying to chase money. I have a thing for liminal spaces. I get stuck inside them for ages. When you observe the particle changes. I can barely understand the particle that I've become. Thank you. That song was written during quarantine and about quarantine, because quarantine, if you didn't notice, was 100% a liminal space. In the way we never got out of it, we did get stuck. Because 2020 felt like a liminal space, right? It was like, liminal means like spaces in between, like a doorway or a threshold. And 2020, we just spent so much time wondering when things would be normal again, and the answer is still not. Or even creating a new normal, which I don't know. I think some of us are here, but I think our day-to-day, like, what the hell is happening now? What fresh hell is this? That vibe is really messing with it, So, oops. But that's really what that was about. It was that being in that in-between space and dreaming about what new normal I wanted and looking back as well. And yeah, anyway. So I'm going to give, let's see, this is the one. That's F sharp. All right. I'm going to give Magic Coming a try over here on this new piano. It's not a song I'm super amazing at on piano yet, so I apologize in advance. I remembered, though, I did find a cool sample that I thought would be neat for it, and I think it was called Old Time Recording Keys. It sounds a little weird. Doesn't it sound a little spoopy? It's all like staticky. I guess that's what it means to them. It's old timey, so they're static. But it's nice. It sounds a little haunted to me. So here is Magic Comin'. I gotta get those last songs off the queue. There, look at me, updating the queue as I go. There are times when she knows that this life is not enough, and all the dull platitudes in the world can make it so. Working hard every day for the bill she still can't pay. She RPGs late at night into someone else's life. Oh, there's magic coming. There's magic coming. Oh, there's magic coming. We're gonna be tonight. Oh, there's magic coming. Oh, there's magic coming. Oh, there's magic coming. Get ready for the big surprise. When's it gonna be my turn? When's it gonna turn around? When am I gonna wake up happy, knowing what I found? When's it gonna turn around? When's it gonna be my turn? When am I gonna wake up smiling, knowing what I learned? Oh. And she lays out the cards to see how the day will be, and she turns with a sigh. It's another one of these, but the window's strong now. She knows it's only time, just a matter of time, until she spreads her wings and flies. Oh, there's magic coming. There's magic coming. There's magic coming. Where There's magic coming. There's magic coming. There's magic coming. Get ready for the big surprise. When's it gonna be my turn? When's it gonna turn around? When am I gonna wake up happy, knowing what I found? When's it gonna turn around? When's it gonna be my turn? When am I gonna wake up smiling, knowing what I learned? And she lays her head tonight, and she knows it's still not time. And she dreams with the power of a phoenix in flames, and she thinks that she begins to understand what she has inside. It's not a thing to disavow, it's not to fix, it's not to tame. Oh, there's magic coming. There's magic coming. There's magic coming. Where you gonna be tonight? There's magic coming. There's magic coming. Oh, there's magic coming. Get ready for the big surprise. There's magic coming. There's magic coming. There's magic coming. Get ready for the rest of your life. Thank you, friends. That was not as much of a train wreck as it could have been. That's kind of how I measure. That's kind of how I measure my piano playing these days. Is like on a scale of train wreck to LARR at rush hour. Like, where am I landing with that performance? I also miss doing the like magic coming as like a group ritual of sorts. I usually don't do that at like I've been doing a ton of cover gigs the last 2 years. I did that before 2020 as well, because that's, you know, like a way I pay my mortgage and stuff. But kind of that's what came back. Like original gigs are much harder to book right now because a lot of places are not reopening for original music, just for kind of like cover bar music. And I don't usually do like the big magic come and sing along at the bar because I'm background music a lot of the time. Like it's okay, but I really miss it. And it is kind of like a group ritual. All right. Let me change my sample back because I'm about to play for you. Actually, I'm about to. So Much Me's coming, and we're going to do it on the whirly, on my little whirly sample. However, first, it's time for Poetry Corner. Ahoy! Thank you so much for tuning in. Oh my gosh. My cat just emerged to the bedroom, so I just sang There's Topsy Coming along with you. That makes me so happy. There's Topsy coming. There's Topsy coming. There's Topsy coming. Who you gonna pet tonight? There's Topsy coming. It's not surreal, so you don't have to worry. Less likely to get scratched. You know I love singing songs about cats. Oh, sorry, didn't mean to highlight that comment. Anyway, thank you for being here for this ridiculousness. Y'all, it's time for Poetry Corner. Let me get into recording mode here because Poetry Corner is nigh. I think my sound just disappeared. Maybe not, I'm not sure. Okay, here we go. I'm in recording mode. I'm going to turn down my instruments a smidge so that you can hear the poetry, because tonight's featured poet is Melissa Longo. Look, that human. Follow her, Melissa Longo Poet. And you can find her as Melissa Longo Poet on Instagram and Twitter, and as Poet Melissa Longo on Facebook. So follow this amazing human. But I should say all that when I record, right? Right. Okay. Hello and welcome to Poetry Corner. Thank you so much for tuning in and making space in your day for poetry. Poetry Corner is brought to you by WUSB.FM. That's a local Long Island radio station, but you can hear it around the world by typing those letters into your browser, WUSB.FM. It works, I promise. Captain Phil's Planet. Captain Phil is really the guy who kind of like enabled Poetry Corner to become a bigger thing than just a thing that I did occasionally when I was feeling goofy. So thank you, Captain Phil. And Diggy Cat and Lucky Star Radio. Thank you so much, everybody, for supporting Poetry Corner. I love y'all so much. So I have poems for you today from Melissa Longo. Melissa Longo is a super awesome, wonderful Long Island poetess who I am honored to know and appreciate as a human. And you can find her online, and I hope you will, at Poet Melissa Longo on Facebook, and on other social media, she's at Melissa Longo Poet, all one word. So please do that because you deserve more of this poetry in your life. I really love how Melissa can say very much and create a very real mood and vibe in very few words. It's really meaningful to me. So here are some poems. Fashion me pretty, for I am but a man, circling, twirling around, for I am but a man, embodiments of just and jest. I swear this is not a hex. Proceed, beware, be aware. Fashion me pretty, think me wonderful, but know this: I am man, I am woman. Think me absurd, yes. Think all you want. Fashion me pretty, not in jest. Fashion me pretty because you're aware. All right, I'm reading to you the poems of Melissa Longo. And these are going to be some short poems that I'm going to read to you kind of as we go, kind of in a grouping. Changed my mind about that sample. Cool. She tries. Being a life builder, she thinks why life isn't what it's supposed to be as it crumbles. She said, hold on. I forgot the why, I forgot the how. Tattooed. One day, my skin will be covered to match the rest. Revised. Updated. Out of print. Editions. Models. People. They are all the same. No revision necessary. have one more poem for you. This is called Recollection. And if you have enjoyed these pieces by Melissa Longo, please go follow her on the interweb. Melissa Longo Poet, all one word, on Twitter, I believe Instagram and Twitch, and on Facebook, Poet Melissa Longo. You can search for those things and you will find more of this human's amazing work. And you should, honestly, like, give yourself that gift. Recollection. Eyes, eyes, so many eyes, glistening, fearing for what they have repressed far too long, appearing, paralyzing. These modifications, mutations, trying to adapt to everyday living. The eyes see. The eyes and their waters, purely coveted. Thank you so much. That was Poetry Corner. If you enjoyed this poetry, please check out Melissa Longo Poet, which is the handle, all one word, at Melissa Longo Poet, that you can find on Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. And please also check out Poet Melissa Longo on Facebook. Thank you, as always, for making place in your day for poetry. My name is Rorie Kelly, and if you ever want to see Poetry Corner live, you can. It airs in the middle of Monday Night Muses on twitch.tv/Rorie Kelly. Monday Night Muses runs from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Time, and Poetry Corner is usually right around 8:30. I would love to have you tune in live. Thank you, thank you. All right, we have done the recording thing. Melissa, thank you so much for sharing your poetry. I love your poetry so much. And it's such a blessing, honestly, just to be surrounded by so many brilliant, creative humans. I feel so lucky for this community. So thank you. Thank you for being in my life. I'm spending a lot of time right now looking back at 2021. And there's a lot of crappiness to behold in the last 2 years. And so I'm not putting a lot of energy into that, because that's the easy part, is beholding the crappiness. So instead I am really reflecting on what felt good and what felt right. And I have to say that this community feels good and feels right. Monday Night Muses feels good and feels right. And I'm so grateful. And as I am reflecting on what feels wonderful in 2021, that's how I'm planning my 2022. I'm asking myself, I want more of what feels good and right. That's all I want. So it's kind of a backwards way to arrive at a New Year's resolution, but more of this, more community, more sharing, more creativity, bigger and better things for Monday Night Muses. I want to grow this series because I love it so much. And thank you for being in my world. That's all. All right, we have a couple of requests. So Much of Me on deck. I believe I was going to do that with the whirly. And I got a chart this time, because last time I remember messing myself up because I didn't have a chart handy. I got you now. It's really a thing. I'm a guitar player. And I love the piano. I've loved the piano since I was a teenager. And if there was ever an acoustic piano in any room, it was like not safe for me. I would come over and play something terribly on it. Usually Evaporated by Ben Folds 5. That was a favorite of mine at that time in my life. Really pretty song. remember it. Anyway, I just love piano so much, and I ran out of excuses during quarantine and started getting really serious about practicing and stuff like that. And I'm still not an amazing player, but I love getting to do it. So thanks for bearing with me as I level up. I like to learn from my mistakes, but I don't like to think about them. You live sometimes in your regrets, but I just lock mine away in a deep dark cave. What shadow self am I creating? Anger and humiliation. The only thing that saves me from her coming for me, she's lazy. You've seen so much of me, and you still love me, you still love me. You've seen so much of me, and you still love me, and you still love me. You let the deck stacked in your favor. Don't think you realize how much you lucked out with me. Cause I will beg and I will plead, I will fight and I will scream, but I will never ever leave. When I commit, I commit. It is baked into my skin, it is part of being me. You've seen so much of me, and you still love me, and you still love me. You've seen so much of me, and you still love me, and you still love me. I know it's not easy. We both need the things we need, but every single morning we try again, and we try again. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. The best hug I ever had was in the morning after my birthday. I was so hungover and I had been so mean, and you just took care of me. You just held me and you held me. There's one way that you like me. When you commit, you commit. You've seen so much of me, you still love me, you still love me. You've seen so much of me, you still love me, and you still love me. I know it's not easy. We both need the things we need, but every single morning you still love me, you still love me. Oh, 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 oh. Thank you, friends. That's called So Much of Me, and thank you for requesting that song. That is my real, like, warts and all kind of love song. You know, that's what it's like to really love people. Is sometimes you make mistakes, and sometimes you're toxic to each other, and if it's a non-toxic human overall, then they apologize and try to right that and learn from it. But you know, it's gonna happen. We're gonna trigger each other. We're gonna press each other's buttons. We're gonna be shitty to each other sometimes, because when you are with someone all the time, that just happens. They get your best you and your worst you. And that song is really about that, about someone loving me at both my worst and my best. All right. Harmonizes passionately. Thank you. All right. Got some more requests. Oh, New Moon in Cancer. Thank you for reminding me. So New Moon in Cancer, Up From Here, and What Are You Wishing For? Thank you for requesting that. I was thinking of playing it, even though it's like, all right, it's a holiday song, but I deliberately don't mention a holiday in it because, for starters, I'm not really a Christmas person. I celebrate Christmas because my family does. This year, COVID kind of kept us apart, and so it was kind of just a day off to me. But I do really love that feeling of like being with someone you care about in the winter season and being festive and giving gifts. And I think that that can be attached to any number of holidays, you know. So I wanted to keep it open, I guess. And so I feel like, why not? It's open for New Year's, right? What are you wishing for this year? I would like to know. Anyway, first, new moon in Cancer. Let me fix my volume levels a little bit. Okay. Oh, happy third night of Kwanzaa. Absolutely. All the things. This song is called New Moon in Cancer. Also a song I've been playing more recently because although it's about a new moon, not a new year, it is about that sense of beginning again, you know, beginning a fresh cycle and choosing how you're going to make it a better cycle this year, choosing how you're going to show up to it in a better way this year, both for yourself and others. That's really the crux of this song. Hydration checkpoint, y'all. I'm really feeling this new moon in Cancer, 'cause I know that the water has the answer for all of my burnt out pieces. And every part of me says I'm too tired to go on trying. And all the best parts of me are on fire and dying. And I know I'm in there somewhere, somewhere. Maybe it's time for a change. Maybe it's time, yeah, I think it's time for, maybe it's time for a change. You put it on the line, yeah, baby, it should just be brave. 'Cause no one ever grew up without pain. No one ever grew up without pain. I know that this life is a gamble. I'm gonna blow my dice, 'cause I wanna take a ramble. Gonna use this time as a gift. No, I don't wanna be rude and wasted. And I build my faith out of stubbornness, 'cause I don't wanna trade my happiness for dollars that'll never buy it back. No, I can't buy that as a wise life path. And maybe it's time for a change. Maybe it's time, yeah, I think it's time for, maybe it's time for a change. You put it on mine, yeah, baby, so just be brave. 'Cause no one ever grew up without pain. No one ever grew up without soothsayer, pathmaker. Everyone turns to you. Are you gonna carry their weight another year? A truth seeker, path seeker, tired secret keeper. Are you gonna put it all down, go clear? Thank you. Gosh, I love this keyboard so much. It makes me so happy. This is my new MIDI keyboard. If you tuned in recently, my new MIDI keyboard's name is Starfire, and they use they, them pronouns. And, thank you so much, Diggy Cat. Yeah, I just, Christmas gift from my dad, the man behind the music. I could not do what I do at this level if not for my dad and his amazing just experience and wisdom and willingness to buy me fancy music toys. All right, I know I had a couple requests on deck. One of them was Up From Here, and then What Are You Wishing For? And I think that'll round us out, so thank you so much, everybody. I'm going to just adjust myself a little bit. That feels better. So that I'm a little closer to the keys I'm hitting. All right, this is going to be Up From Here. I'm going to do Up From Here on the piano today. And let's see if I can bring this mic a little closer to me. Come on. Come on, don't fight with me, buddy. This is a song called Up From Here. It is a song about belligerent positivity. After that, we're going to have a sweet song about positivity. But for now, it's belligerent. If you don't like the F word, you may wish to go take a bathroom break at this time, because I'm going to sing the F word quite a lot. If you do like the F word, please sing along with me. Like, let's have a good Monday night. Cheers, y'all. It is. Should we talk about the loss of tiny objects, very small specific parts without which nothing can be fixed? Should we talk about Mercury retrograde? It's totally cool, I love to put the past in perspective, but now that we're back in the present, everything in my life seems to be broken. Should we talk about my psychological state? Let's not play with fire here. It's already been a long day. You cannot be serious the way you're jerking me around. This bad luck is hilarious, 'cause you can't keep this fucker down. Should we talk about guitars and cars and bank accounts? It's a Russian roulette. Where will the problem be today? I am one headlight short of a bright outlook. That's not a metaphor. I hope I don't get pulled over anyway. I thank my lucky stars that I am good in a crisis. I thank the universe for giving me so much practice. Oh, you cannot be serious the way you're jerking me around. This bad luck is hilarious, 'cause you can't keep this fucker down. Don't threaten me with a good time. I wouldn't know what to do with it. Everything will be just fine as soon as I find my keys in my wallet. I can only go up from here. I can only go up, up. I can only go up from here. I can only go up, up. I can only go up from here. I can only go up, up. I can only go up from here. I can only go up, up. I can Thank you, friends. Thank you so much. Thank you for bearing with me through my growing but still not amazing piano skills at this time, because I am in love. I'm in love with the piano. I'm in love with my new MIDI keyboard, Starfire. I got one more song, and then of course we're rating someone, Barbie. Don't worry, we will be rating. But first I have one more song for you. This is a song called What Are You Wishing For? This is kind of a holiday song. I wrote it for a holiday movie, which sounds cooler than it is. I'm still not like a super cool person. But it does sound nifty to be like, I wrote the song for a movie, whatever. Kind of a flex. Anyway, it was really wonderful. I wrote this song for a holiday movie called, what is it called? Candace Cain made a bunch of holiday movies in the last couple of years. It like just churned them out. And, you know, like got them a bunch of placements too on pureflix.com. And she's like trying for things like the Hallmark Channel and stuff like that. Like she's a beast. She's really putting herself out there. And it's been an honor to have some of my songs featured in her movies. Anyway, this is a song about being with someone you really care about. Maybe someone you have a little crush on, you know, during the holidays. And also reflecting on the year and reflecting on what you want this year. Whether you choose to mean like, you know, holiday gifts or what do you want in the new year? So while I play this song, I'm going to ask you, please put your wishes for 2022 in the chat. Let's put them in there. Let's like have a little magic moment here. If you would do that with me. What are your wishes for 2022? I want to know. Hot cider on a cold, cold night, and I am feeling alive. Let's get together on a big old tree. Come light a candle and sing with me. Fa la 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 la, you look lovely tonight. Fa la la la, what are you wishing for this year? Fa la 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 la, it feels so magic and bright. Fa la la la, the thing that I am wishing for is right here. All the stress in the past few months settling onto my skin like frostbite. I need to feel like a kid again. Watch my breath fog in the starlight. Fa la 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 la, you look lovely tonight. Fa la la la, what are you wishing for this year? Fa la 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 la, it feels so magic and bright. Fa la la la, the thing that I am wishing for is right here, right now. So much snow on the ground, not going anywhere tonight. Right now, right here, finally my head is clear. I know what I really want, what I want this year. Fa la 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 la, 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 fa la 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 la. Oh, oh, oh. What are you wishing for this year? La la la. La 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 la. La la la. La la la. Wishing for more active music and poetry life in 2022. my friend, preach. Wish for 2022, blissful happiness, peace, no more disease. A kitty cat, I once made the black kitty with green eyes. Prayers for climate change, they're real. I am ranting, fa la 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 la. You look lovely tonight, fa la la la. What are you wishing for this year, fa la 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 la. It feels so magic and bright, fa la la la. The thing that I'm wishing for is right here, fa la la la. You look lovely tonight, fa la la la. What are you wishing for this year, fa la 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 la. It feels so magic and bright, fa la la la. The thing that I'm wishing for is right here. Thank you, loves. Thank you for joining me tonight. We are going to do a raid. It looks like we're going to raid Sashi Boom. Awesome. I love it. Good call. Good choice, my friends. As always, I'm going to sing you out while we do this raid because I love y'all so much. Don't forget to come back next week. Next week, we have Ayla Faye opening. And I think I might do my own poetry for Poetry Corner. Start off the year with some fresh poetry. And it's going to be a really great episode, I guess, of Monday Night Muses. So I hope you will join me. Let me sing you out. Hang on, let me get a little loopy with it. I wasn't recording, sorry. This time, if you're watching this on the replay on Tuesday night on Facebook or YouTube, I just want to let you know you could see this live every Monday night on Twitch, and Twitch isn't as scary as you think it is. I know some people think it's scary, but it's actually a lot of fun and you'll like it. So make sure you tune in every Monday night, 7 p.m. Eastern to 9 p.m. Eastern. Let's get that raid going.